Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Super excited. Santa brought us a wrap for our Ski-Doo Summit X. We got it through Deviant Ink. I was kind of blown away at how much is involved in the wrap, but when you roll it all out, it's pretty overwhelming to see what you get for I think it was around $500 for what we purchased. They did some custom logo for us. They put our GFA logo on there, which we're super excited about. They cranked it out pretty quick within a couple weeks. So right now what we're gonna do is gonna cut it up into sections so that we can bring it in the garage. We've got the garage heated up nice and warm, so hopefully it goes on nice and well, and everything stays nice and sticky. But they gave us this cheat sheet, which is kind of cool, an install guide. So as you can see, it's color coded, and if you look real close to one of the graphics, you'll see that one has a teal outline. So then what you do is you just reference your cheat sheet. So for example, you'll see, like, you know, the purple is the side panel, right? The teal is the rear tunnel there. Also, as you can see, if you look at the graphics there, it actually lays it out in some text on the side of the graphic as well. So that's kind of cool. It tells you where to put what, which is awesome. Here's a little before video or shot of the sled before we put the wrap on. So we took off all the badges that come from the factory, all the warning stickers, all the factory stuff. It kind of broke my heart a little bit. We started to try to remove some of the glue with some of the tar and sap remover, but it was pretty harsh on the plastics and kind of took the shine off, so we didn't do that anymore. We just wiped it down with some rubbing alcohol and left some of the sticky stuff on there from the stickers, because the reality is you're gonna put a graphics kit on it or wrap on it anyways, and it's gonna have stickiness and residue all over the entire sled here shortly. So stay tuned.
So we found when we were putting on this top piece, it was overlapping over one of the side pieces, and if you have an overlap, you can see right here, I don't want to put it down because I'm going to cut it off, but when you have an overlap, it's a weakness in the wrap, so it's more likely to pull up. So it's common, it's not a huge deal, so you just start by just cutting. You want nice sharp shears. My sharpest shears right now are my kitchen shears, so that's what we're using.
Preferably gold.
Gold shears make everything better. Okay, so you start by cutting just a little bit, checking. It's still overlapping a little. I'm gonna go back, cut a little bit more. You can always cut more, you can't put it back together. So always cut less, and then you can always cut more. And then it should line up. Again, this is a common problem just because everything doesn't always line up perfectly. So sometimes it just takes a little nip tuck. And we got her. And that's it. Now it lines up perfectly in there.
So we have a fairly large, complicated piece to put on. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the graphic from the big sheet here, and then we're just going to cut a little strip of the backer out so we can kind of stick it in place and then peel it back. So as you see, I'm going to cut this out nice and close. Try not to cut the other graphics, and then we'll get it like right on the machine and roll it out, so it'll be a little easier to do. So I've got this complicated piece here. Kind of looks like a Batman mask. So what we've done is cut it out very closely to where it's supposed to be, okay? And then I cut a little section off the back of it. And so got this idea from the Mountain Sledder Garage. He has a great YouTube video. Go check him out. His YouTube video is about 45 minutes, goes into great detail. So again, check him out. He's got some good ideas. But what we're going to do is we're going to set this up there. This. Now we don't have to stress about this flopping around, so we can do one side at a time. So we can just peel this back and go along as we want to. Because we want to make sure that it's lined up on both sides properly. I try to work from the inside out. You make sure that it lays decent, but really try to work from the inside out to avoid the bubbles. A valley like that. Try to press that in first and work your way out. And work your way out. Again, you got that set, and then you can move on to the other side. You have to, you're just gonna flop around for a minute. See, even the dog agrees.
Sorry.
So for this next piece, for your tunnel, here, that big piece that goes on the rear of the sled there, you do have to take off your link mounts here. There's some bolts on the back side and some torque heads here, but then you also have to take this bumper off and get this off there anyways, kind of behind the bumper. So just some bolts that go in the back. There's like 4 on each side. It kind of stinks, but they're pretty easy to get to. So pull that off and so we can get that installed. So this piece was kind of a pain in the butt. On the other side, we had pulled the backing off and tried to put it on there, but we had a really hard time lining up these, almost look like waves. So what we did is, again, Mountain Sledder Garage, shout out to him. He gave us the idea. We cut out the graphic, right? Left the backing on there, just pulled out a little small section in the middle, got up the middle, get everything lined up, kind of stuck the middle, and now we can just work it over, all right? As we come over, like that, and work our way out both ways. And I think we'll be pretty close. We won't have to trim it. This side we had to trim a little bit, but again, another little pro tip. Hope it helps somebody else out, because that can be a tricky piece. Hello. Well, we just wrapped up our first wrap. Ha ha ha. Wanted to give you a quick, pros and cons, lessons learned, what we do different, some of the things that we really did appreciate from Deviant Ink. So I'm gonna start with the cons. So from Deviant Ink, one of the things that we would have liked seen, or I think we could have done better, is the orange on the seat is a little bit off from the orange on the wrap. I probably could have done a better job of looking up what that color code was and sending that in when I was making my request for the wrap. So the orange is a little bit off on the skid, the seat, and the skis, but hey, no complaints. The other thing that we could have done better is, so the machine's black. The black pieces here, they're gonna be great for protection, especially when you're riding the trees. Those tree branches won't be scratching the plastics all up. But I wish we would have thought of maybe adding some sparkle or some reflective material or something to really make the black pieces pop. The stock plastics actually had some sparkle in them, and we covered them up, which I was a little sad about, but hey, it's okay. This is going to be better for the machine for the long run. The things that I would say were awesome about Deviant Ink was the order process. You go on their website, there's a ton of options. You can place them on the sled. The order process, when we sent in what we wanted ordered, we wanted to add our logo in there, right? Our GFA logo. And we sent the logo, and it was in red, and they were able to convert it to orange, add to the machine. I think it turned out really well. The placement's great. There's also a giant logo here that we added that I know it's gonna be probably covered up most of the time, but I think it turned out really, really well. And they did it, they didn't charge us anything extra, and it was a pretty easy process from a buyer's perspective. One of the other things I thought was pretty cool about Deviant Ink was you get a piece of wrap for just about everything. I mean, I may be exaggerating, but it felt like there was hundreds of pieces. I mean, there was so many little tiny little pieces that cover every aspect of the snow machine, inside and out, underneath the snowmobile, even on the outside of these running boards here. There's wrap pieces for here. They even provided wrap pieces for your snow flap. We didn't put the snow flap wrap on that because we don't run the snow flap very often. If we do, it's just on the trail for to get to and from. But and plus, we weren't really stressed about it, so we didn't put that on there. But it did come with all these little tiny pieces, which I thought was really cool. Oh, one thing while I'm standing here, the tank here is actually textured, so make sure you warm that right up with the heat gun good, don't melt it, but and really press that in there to get that to stick. On our other machine, this one came off pretty quick and easy, so hoping that sticks better this time. Overall, super excited about the wrap, and is that it? That's it, right?